Hey there, I'm Vonnie and welcome back to my channel. I've had the opportunity to play with some of Iron Orchid Design's brand new products. So using this gorgeous new transfer and these two stamps, I've created this and I'm going to show you how I did it. As usual, I like to make sure my piece is in functioning working order, and she's a little bit wonky. I need to remove this top as well. So after a lot of glue, screws, brackets and clamping, she was good to go. I'm removing all the hardware, and these old lock holes I'll putty up as well. I thought I'd tackle these legs before I started on the base. They're in good condition, but I want to take the old varnish off, so I'm just using some paint stripper, and I'll cover it up with some cling wrap for about 20 minutes to let it do its thing. Taking it off gets a bit messy, so I'm using a puppy training pad underneath to catch all the water. So I'm just using a soft cloth now, just with water to remove the excess, and then I've come in with a soft scourer to gently get into some of the detail, but then I use also some steel wool, some very fine steel wool, and that is even better for getting the paint stripper and the varnish from all those little crevices. When it's dry, you can really see how well that's removed all the stain and varnish. So I'm just hand sanding it smooth. You can use your machine sander, but at this stage it really only needs smoothing off. You're welcome to finish these however you like, but I prefer to use Annie Sloan dark wax on raw timber. It really enhances the natural grain and it buffs up so beautifully. Now I'm just sanding the drawer fronts where I've put the putty in to block up all the holes from the handles and the keyhole. First layer on the piece is going to be a textured layer, so I'm using Annie Sloan's Honfleur, which is a dark brown, and I'm mixing in salt wash, and this creates a thick like paste-like paint. And when you stipple it on like this, you can create all these lovely chunky bits and peaks that we will later be able to create a lovely worn appearance. Here I'm showing you up close the Waltz. It's a new stamp, and then I'm going to use Flora and Vine. These are products from Iron Orchid Design's new summer 2025 release. And this is one of the brand new gorgeous transfers called Featons Botanicals. Pages and pages of little bits of botanicals and flowers, and I have so many ideas running through my head at this stage. First thing I do is I literally just cut them all out into individual transfers. There were different sizes, so I made piles of the different sizes, and I thought this would be easy for me to create a design with them. I do need to do a base coat first before all the decoration. So I've chosen Mint by Michelle's Ballet Flats because it's a really light, soft, dusky pink, and I thought it would be perfect for this old country floral feel I was after. And then using a carbide scraper, I am random, but I do concentrate on areas that are typically worn more, like around the edges of drawers. So it gives this worn look, gives a bit of a chippy feel, and this is going to be underneath all the decoration as well. So now we have our blank canvas ready to receive all the beautiful stamps and transfers. So I've got an idea what I'm going to do, and I need to sort out where the placement of the transfers are before I do the stamping. So this is the basic layout, and now I'm going to start with the Waltz. I'm using an IOD brayer to apply some gold paint onto a part of the set. There are 4 pieces in this set, and I've decided to use 2, and I'm using my imperfect is perfect process to apply the gold paint, and I'm applying it all over the drawers, and this is going to go under the floral design. Don't you just love how it looks already? I'm really happy with this so far. Now, using one of the IOD ink pads already loaded with stone grey coloured ink, I've decided to only use 2 of the stamps out of the Flora and Vine set. They're the perfect touch to this lovely layered, worn, aged country farmhouse feel that I'm going for. Okay, now I'm laying back down the transfers I'd planned before, and it's always probably a good idea to maybe take a photograph of what you've done. I have decided to start with this particular one in the middle, and IOD have these fabulous grid lines that you can use as guidelines when you're having to manipulate around edges and uneven surfaces. So what I'm doing is laying down part of that transfer down the center, and I could try and be clever and apply the piece in one sheet, but I honestly find it easier to use the guidelines and cut it up to fit the little spaces. Now you can see this little piece is on and it's gone over all those edges and you can't see where I've cut it up. So now I'm just using a bit of tape to secure all these little pieces so they stay in place. I hope you can follow what I'm doing because sometimes the transfers overlap a little bit. So I'm putting a bit of tape on so I can flip them over and apply the transfer and layer them on as I go. You have to decide which one is the bottom layer and do that one first, and then tape them so you can flip them so that they stay in place and you get the bottom layers done first and end with the top layer, of course. That was really hard for me to explain what I was doing, so I hope you understand what I was trying to say. I've got all the transfers on the drawers now, and I'm really loving how it's looking. I'm loving the layered look of the transfers over the top of that, the stamping that I did. So now we're going to put some on the side. Just continuing with the same stamps that I did on the front. These are a couple of stamps out of the Flora and Vine set, and I'm just going to continue the theme around the sides. Once all the transfers are on, they need to be sealed, and I'm using Mint by Michelle's Mint Finish in matte. It goes over the mint mineral paint really lovely, just with a brush. And just to accentuate all the detail and crevices in the side panels there, I'm just using some anti-slane dark wax. And I thought it was missing something, so what I'm doing now is using some gold gilding wax on a small brush, and I'm just going around part of the detail there on the side panels. And then everything, including the legs, gets sealed with this spray varnish that I love to use. It's from British Paints. It's quick drying and it's non-yellowing. I hope you agree. She looks pretty amazing. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Personally, I love using Ironalker Designs products to create this layered look with the transfers and the stamps. Please read the description because all the links are there for the products that I've used. And if you'd like to see more of my work, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching.